Hi, this is Yogesh. In this lecture, I am going to cover a TempData and a session object. Let's say if I want to pass the data from one controller to another controller, that means if I want to transfer the data from one action to another action, then I will go for TempData object. TempData, it is a dictionary object which is derived from TempData dictionary class, and it also requires the typecasting for retrieving the data. And the second one is the session. So the session is a very important object in web technology. If you want to store some individual information of user like a username, email ID, then we always go for a session object. So session store the unique and the individual information of user. The session is derived from HTTP session state class, and when we go for a session, when we want to pass the data across all the controller, it is also required that typecasting for retrieving the data. So in a step 1, I created one list of type test. I added this object inside this list, and then finally we assign this list to our TempData object. Now in a second step, we need to create a one controller called page2, and action is page2 action. So remember, our intention is to pass this TempData from one action to another action. So that's why we will be creating this page2 controller, and inside that we have this page2 action. If I want to transfer from one action to another action, then here we use a redirect to action. This redirect to action is navigate from one action to another action. In the first parameter, we need to specify that target action, that is a page2 action, and this page2 action is under page2 controller. In a step 3, we retrieve this TempData object in a list of type test. For TempData, I am going to create one action. Let's copy this and let's give the name is TempData sample. Again, this TempData contains a list of type test which holding these 3 objects, and finally here we use a TempData object. My key name is test which holding the list. My second controller name is a page2 controller. So let's create another controller for this. Add new controller and say page2 controller, and inside this page2 controller I am going to create one action, that is a page2 action. Okay, so here let me retrieve this TempData. Okay, so here we are holding this TempData with this collection, and in the page2 action we are retrieving this TempData object. So how do we transfer from one action to another action? So here we need to write down one return method, that is a redirect to action. So you can see in a redirect to action there are 2 important parameters over here. The first parameter is your action name. So what is your action name inside this? We have a page2 action, so I'll just specify this page2 action over here. But this page2 action is belong to which controller name? That is a page2 controller. So we'll add the page2 controller over here. So let's run this. So you can see over here we just capture this data inside the list of type test, and then so TempData is holding this collection. Then this collection passes to page2 action of page2 controller, and we can see this TempData maintain the value between these 2 action. Okay, so for a session object, again we can use the same thing, but remember the session is storing the individual information of user. So if I want to share this data across all the controller, then we use the session object over here. Okay, so in this lecture we have covered how the TempData is useful to transfer the data from one controller action to another controller action, and we have also seen a redirect to action which will help you to navigate from one action to another action, and we have also seen how the session object store the data, and basically it is used to share that data across the controller.
Thank you for watching.